everyone! So today I will be showing you how to create this really cool 3-row or 3-layer frilly braid bracelet. Now my frilly braid bracelet tutorial was really popular, a lot more popular than I expected it to be. So I decided to kind of expand the horizon and make a 3-row one. So this bracelet design was not very hard for me to discover, so I can't imagine that maybe someone else has discovered it before I have, so I do apologize if this is kind of like a remake of their tutorial. But anyways, a lot of my subscribers and followers on Instagram are fans of the frilly braid bracelets. So here is something to kind of I don't know how to call it. Anyways, you can also expand this and make a 4 or 5-row frilly braid. There is this is a I can't talk. You'll see in this video I can't talk like at all today. But this is a 5-row frilly braid bracelet. It is really, really cool, as you can see, and I did have to put an extension on it. I will explain why later in the video. But anyways, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you love the frilly braid bracelet. And now without further ado, let's get started. So today you will need any type of loom, your hook, 1 C-clip, and as many colored rubber bands as you would like. You will need 77 bands total. This project does put a bit of stress on your hook, so today I will be using a metal tipped hook available at the Rainbow Loom website. So anyways, now without further ado, let's get started. So today we will only be using these 2 right pin bars here. So I'm going to start with my loom's arrows pointing up, and you're going to take your first color that you'll be using for the far left single chain. Or far right single chain, actually, once you flip this over. But we're just going to create a single chain bracelet that goes like a zigzag formation. This is the most basic Rainbow Loom bracelet that you can make. And you're just going to do this zigzag pattern throughout your whole entire loom to the very end of your loom. So I won't be giving really detailed instructions, since pretty much all of you should know how to make this bracelet, since it is the most basic Rainbow Loom bracelet. And it's okay if I go a little bit fast during this part, because we're not going to be doing anything special. It's just a pattern repeating. So you can always pause the video when I am finished, so that way you can catch up, or vice versa. Like that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the very bottom of our loom, and you're going to choose one color of band that you want to be the color that you're going to finish off on. I'm going to choose white. This is going to be the band that holds all of the other bands together, like at the end. Like here, I'll have an example bracelet right here. See this one pink band right here? This one pink band holds all of the other bands. So you want to choose one band that will serve this purpose. For me, I'm going to choose white. So for this, you want to lift the very bottom band up and over the pin and release it. So that way it hangs like that. Put this white band going kind of diagonally like that. Pick this band up that we just released and place it back on the pin. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do one more single chain pattern. So just push all these bands down here. Scoot all the way down to the bottom of your loom, and we're going to start putting bands on again. Now we're going to do the same exact thing. Act like the first single chain we made, which in my case is green, act like the green single chain isn't even there, and just make one more single chain that goes right on top of it. Again, it's okay if you are having trouble putting on bands as quick or anything, because this is basically the same process, so there's nothing special here. So you can go ahead and pause the video here, or pause when I get finished, so that way you'll be ready to catch up right when we're both done together. Sorry, my elbows rub on the table. Makes funny noises. Okay, so now my loom looks like this, and basically I've done 2 single chains. I finished one, did another one, and so basically they're kind of like layered on top of each other. So now what we're going to do is we are now ready to start the hooking process. So you're going to flip your loom over, and we're going to start at the very bottom. So first we're basically just going to add 1 cap band. So make sure your loom's arrows are pointing down first. Flip your loom over, grab a single band and wrap it around the center pin twice. Like that. So I've got a cap band wrapped around this pin right here twice. And now you're just going to grab your hook and we're going to start doing the hooking process. Now first we are only going to hook the bottom layer of bands, which for me is green. So I'm only going to be hooking the green bands first, all the way down to the bottom of my loom. Now basically this is just like hooking a single chain, just ignore the white bands that are there. So just go inside your cap band as well as the white band that's here. So zoom in a little bit for you. Go inside the cap band as well as this white band here. Pick up this bottom green band and hook that vertically, or horizontally, what am I talking about, or diagonally. So pick that up and hook that over. And sorry, I do have a wall back here, so I can't really scoot my loom back any farther, but go inside all the bands here, grab this green band, hook it, do the same thing again, hook it again, and then continue this process throughout the whole length of your loom. So I'll show you one last time. Just make sure you go inside all the bands here and then grab that one band and hook it diagonally. So at this point I'm not really going to go extremely slow, just because it's basically like hooking a regular single chain bracelet. But rewatch the previous instructions if you're still having trouble. And I will zoom out a little bit so that way you guys can see the big picture a little bit better. Okay, so I have now hooked all the green bands, so if you're not to this point yet, go ahead and pause the video. If not, this is basically just what my loom looks like here, like that. So, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add on more rubber bands. So if you just wanted to make a regular frilly braid bracelet, you can go ahead and just hook the remaining bands, which for me would be white. Just hook all the white bands down to the end of the loom again, and you'd have a regular frilly braid bracelet. However, since we want to do 3 rows, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add more bands on. So for this, you're going to flip your loom over so that way the arrow's now pointing up. And you're going to just push all your bands down just to make sure that they're down so that way more bands can fit on the pins. And we're now going to add on our next single chain. So for me, I'm going to use blue. So I'm going to start at the bottom, go diagonally, and then I'm just going to create a regular single chain going across again. So this should be kind of like the same thing that we did on the green and white ones. Okay, so I've gone down the whole length of my loom, and you might not be to this point yet, but if you aren't, then go ahead and pause the video. If not, we're going to go ahead and start the hooking process again. So you're going to flip your loom over so that way your arrow is pointing down, and then we're going to go down to the base of our loom. Sorry, I do have the wall back there, so I have to turn my loom for this first part. But you're just going to go inside all the bands here, including the bands that we just put on, grab the white bands, and hook. So now I will be hooking over all of the white bands that I put on earlier. This is the second layer of bands that I put on. So the first two pins are the hardest to hook just because there's a lot of bands there. So make sure you're just grabbing the white one or whatever color you're using. So just make sure you go inside all the bands and pick up the correct one. This is quite difficult, especially when I'm here with my camera stand and stuff, but just be careful as to what bands you're grabbing, and then if you do that correctly, then you should have no problems at all with doing the hooking process. And I found it easy to sometimes just kind of stick my hook inside this little corner of this band that's blue here, and then pick up white bands. But if that just makes it harder for you, then make sure you go inside the slit of the pin and pick the band up. But I find that sometimes I pick up like more bands than I should when I do that. Okay, so I've now finished the whole length of my loom here, and basically this is what it looks like. Now we will not be adding another single chain of bands because we only want this to be 3 layers, and so far we've used 3 colors, which is basically 3 layers. So if you wanted to do a 4 or 5 layer frilly braid bracelet, then you'd go ahead and add more bands on, do the hooking process, and then add more bands on according to how many layers you want. I do not recommend doing more than 5 because just the pins get really full with all the bands stacked on them. I found that 3 layers looks the best. However, if you want a really cool looking bracelet, then you can do a 5 layer, which is what mine looks like here. And I did need a small extension here when I did make a 5 layer, but the 3 layer does not need an extension. I haven't done a 4 layer before, so I don't know what to do. If you do need an extension or not. I would imagine you might need like a small, tiny extension, but you know. So this bracelet still looks really cool. And this is with 5 layers, by the way. And if you're wondering what I did, I just did white, pink, white, blue, white. So that's basically the 5 layers that I did. But we're doing a 3 layer today, so we're not going to add any more bands on since we already have 3 layers. So basically now we're going to go back to do the hooking process again on these blue bands here. So now we obviously need a cap band for this band here. So the band stack should look like this, and you're just going to move this blue band down and put it below the cap band. So you want to bring the cap band up, move the blue band down. Just that way it looks like this. So you should have the cap band on top and the blue one on the bottom, like this. And now you're just going to go inside the cap band, grab the blue band there, and then hook it diagonally, like that. So if you didn't quite understand that, go ahead and watch the previous instructions again, but if not, we're going to go ahead, just hook the bands like normal. So basically for me, I'm just going to be hooking all the blue bands here. So I'm just going to pick up all the blue bands and hook them over. Pick up the blue bands, hook over. And this is the easiest hooking process because you've basically got almost no bands in the way. So just hook these like normal to the top of your loom. Okay, so if you're not to this point yet, that's okay because I did go quite fast during that, so go ahead and just pause the video here. If not, we have this one band here that for me is white that we haven't hooked yet, so we're going to go ahead and hook that. So stick your hook inside of all these bands here and go to the very bottom, pick up that white band, and hook that to that pin that goes diagonally there. Now you're going to want to take your C-clip, and I've got mine on the table here. And you're just going to slip it onto the two bands that are here on this pin. And once the C-clip is on there, go ahead and carefully remove that. And now we can go ahead and remove this from our loom. So when your bracelet is hot off the loom, it may look kind of funny. So basically you just want to stretch it out in all different directions. So stretch it long ways, like this, and stretch it like width ways, I guess. Just like stretch it outwards. And it's okay if it looks kind of weird like that because we're going to fix it later, but just stretch it in all different directions so that way you can even everything out. And you want to finish by pulling it long ways like that. So now as you can see, I've basically evened out all the stitches in my bracelet, improving the overall look very much. So now you basically just want to grab the cap band. So just find the cap band there. And you want to attach it to the C-clip here. So just find the C-clip and attach that on. Like that. And we have now finished our 3-row frilly braid bracelet. Can't talk today. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial. Once again, this is based off of my frilly braid bracelet design. I do have a tutorial for that on my channel, and if I remember, I'll have the link down below in the description box. Fingers crossed I remember. But anyways, this tutorial is on my channel, and this bracelet was a lot more popular than I thought it would be, or the frilly braid bracelet was, and so I thought of different ways I could maybe like widen it. And so I was messing around on my loom, and I don't know, my brain juices really got flowing, and I thought of basically how to make this bracelet. So there may be tutorials on this already out there, so I do apologize if this is kind of like a remake, but I just got a lot of requests for more bracelets that are like the frilly braid or similar to the frilly braids, so here is a tutorial. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if it helped you out, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also follow, I still can't talk. Follow me on Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, and Facebook. My links are all in the description box below. Also, don't forget to check out my other videos. I've got one on this really cool fishtail design that is kind of like the frilly braid except in fishtail form. So for the 2-layer one, I've got this one. This is just a bracelet sample because I haven't filmed the whole tutorial yet, but here's a sample of what it looks like. And I've also got a tutorial on the 3-row one. So I've got tutorials on both of these on my channel, so don't forget to check that out as well. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this tutorial again, and I will see you guys later. Bye!